Hi there, we're here for a one-on-one with Pigeon. We're going to show several different versions, and the first one we're going to show is from legs up the wall. So how you come into legs up the wall is you start with your body perpendicular to the wall, legs are parallel to the long side. You bring your torso down, and then bring your legs around and lay on back. I recommend starting as close to the wall as you can get because it's much easier to scoot away than to scoot in. Once you're here, you can cross one foot over the other ankle and slide that foot down so it's either above or below the knee, whichever is better for you. Now you may already feel a stretch in the outer hip of the bent knee leg here and stay right here. But if you feel you could have a little more stretch, now you bend the knee of the up leg and hug in however much feels good for you. What's great about this version of Pigeon is you can stay here for quite a long time because you have the support of the wall and the floor. When you're ready, you just bring both legs back up the wall, and then you would switch sides. We're not going to show that. When you're ready, you come on out. Also, not the most graceful to come out, but you just make it work. So, next version that we're going to show is seated in a chair. So you come into any stable chair and sit so that you can bring your feet flat to the mat. Now, first version we're going to show you, cross one ankle in front of the other. Doesn't matter which side you start on. Now, you can inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring hands to the legs, fold yourself forward. You can pause here, or if you feel you have space, you could let the arms come down by the sides. This is also getting into that outer hip of the foot that's crossed in front. And when you're ready, keep the chin lightly tucked and come on up. So next, seated version we're going to show you, uncross the feet. Now, you pick one foot up, bring it above the other knee. And you can grab onto the leg to bring the leg up. Now, this might be enough of a stretch for you right here that you stay here. But if you feel like you could have a little bit more space, you can do the same thing. So inhale, lengthen the spine here. Exhale, fold forward. You fold forward however much is good for you, releasing the head down. And then when you're ready, you slowly come on up, bringing that foot down. Now we're going to show some versions on the floor. First one's going to involve a bolster and a chair. So you move the chair to the front of your mat, your bolster maybe like 6 or so inches in front of it. You're going to come to sit on the bolster with your knees facing the chair. So you're very close to it, but we're going to be moving in a moment. Leave one leg forward, so that leg is going to be parallel to the front of the mat. Your other leg is going to swing behind. You can bring your hands to the chair seat here to get your support. Now you can always stack up 2 bolsters or a bolster and a chair, whatever support that you need here. And another way to come in is from tabletop. I think the version that we just showed is easier, but that's also an option if that works better for you. Now, what's nice about the chair is you can stay upright right here, or if you feel like you have the space, you can bend the elbows, fold forward, maybe even bring your head down to the chair seat. You can also stay in this position, usually somewhat longer than the version without this chair support. When you're ready to come up, you bring the hands to the chair seat, slowly bring yourself up, and then your choice, you either bring the back leg forward or you switch off to the side. Last version we show, we will get rid of the chair. We're going to move the bolster to the side too and bring blocks up front. Now we're going to come into this one from down dog because this is a way that this pose is often taught. So what you're going to do is come into down dog. Now, I want to talk a little bit here before you go about bringing the leg forward. So the knee is in the safest position when it is bent and closed. Sometimes when we're coming into pigeon from down dog, we let it be loose and let a little rotation come from the knee. We don't want that. Rotation comes from the hip. So what you're going to do is bend the knee in. Now rotate from the hip, bring the leg down. Start with the foot into the pelvis. This is the safest position for the knee. Now, only once you're here, you could start to play with shifting a little bit to the side, bringing your front leg more forward. Another option here is to bring a blanket right under this front hip. So you can take the blanket, wedge it in, and then that way you have support. You're not just hanging out with the hip in the air. Now Liz has her hands on the mat, but you could also bring hands to the blocks here on any height. This might let you keep the spine more upright. Sometimes it's also comfortable. You can bring the forearms down onto the blocks. Rest down a little bit more comfortably if resting the forearms onto the mat isn't available or good for you. Then when you're ready, you can bring the hands back to the blocks or the mat, press yourself up, and then come on out. And that's pigeon pose.